It's Precious KW here, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. It is episode 6, like, really? For real. I told you I was going to keep counting until we got to 10. If you're new, hello, welcome. We're glad you were able to join us today. If you are returning, good to see you again. Either way, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it. What are you waiting on? It's below. Once again, I'm Precious KW, and I am really excited. Simply Passionate Life is in its 5 keys to Simply Passionate Living, and we have been rolling. We started with being proactive, and we talked about pursuing life consistently, mind, body, and spirit. Then last week, we talked about how to be patient, which I feel like was very needed because I've gotten a lot of great feedback. So go ahead and go back and watch those videos. It's December, and we're talking about the 4th key to Simply Passionate Living, which is to be present. You all, this season means a lot to me because we commemorate the day or the time that Jesus came to the earth. Yes, some scholars say it was in the spring, but neither here nor there. He came, he saw, he conquered my heart, and I'm glad about it, okay? So it's a beautiful time for me to remind myself that God did not think it was unfair to come and leave everything in heaven to be present with his people and do it for his will, do it for the earth, and do it for my soul. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. And we can look at that as the pinnacle of presence, the pinnacle of saying, I'm willing to sacrifice for your betterment and to be present for you even when it costs me a lot. And so that's one of the key things that I think about when I think about being present. Then I also think of my mom. My mom is one of those people who you can sit in front of her and talk to her, and she will make you feel like you're the only person she wants to talk to at that moment. She's plugged in and she's engaged, she's really listening, and she can recall what you're saying as you're talking to her. I think she does that for everybody, but more for me. So don't even talk to the other people. Don't tell them. But it's a beautiful thing being a daughter of a woman like that. And now, as I become an adult, and I'm an adult. I'm old now. And now that I have become an adult, I'm starting to see that that's an area that I really can use some growth in. I have a hard time being present. It's art. It's one of those things that it's not just a personality trait. It is a trained art. And in this day and time when there's so many distractions around us, we have our phones, we have our tablets, we have our MacBooks, and we have Wi-Fi in our car, and we have Bluetooth, and all these different ways that you can just do more than one thing at one time. Simply Passionate Life is really focused on helping people to be engaged in their everyday moments, simple moments, opposed to just focus on their end game or their big milestones in life. We believe here that every moment is a message, you just have to pay attention. So presence is so key in that. So there's some things that I've been working on for myself that I wanted to share with you. And part of that is just my story. I'm a school counselor, and so I work with students all the time. And as I launch more of the motivational speaking, I'm realizing that when we get to adolescence, around that time is when we start realizing that you can get a lot done if you multitask. And so multitasking is not a bad thing, but it's not so much of the best thing to make a common practice. Nobody in your life wants to feel like you're multitasking them. Like, let me squeeze you in between my Facebook post and my Pinterest pin. No one wants to feel that way. People want to know that they can really count on you to be there when they are with you. And so being present is so important. And there are some ways that we can focus on being, that we can change our mindset towards our engagement in life, and that we can improve our presence. And I'm using all of these things, so trust me, I've done my research. Number 1, mainly, is to take your time as a gift. Look at your time as a gift, and look at yourself as a gift. You are a gift to anyone that you're sitting in front of. When I'm with my family, when I'm with my colleagues, when I'm with my friends, when I'm with my spouse, I am a gift to them in that time. Am I being open? Am I present? Am I giving them the opportunity to get to know me for real? Or is my mind a million places at one time? Look at your time as a gift. If you're in a meeting, are you participating and giving your input, or are you waiting until you become the CEO because this job is way beneath you? That's the key right there between simply passionate living and just living, or just living for a specific purpose. Listen, we have every second of every day is a gift this has been given to us. Remember that. Remember that we talked about that grace bank. You'll never get that moment back, so use it and be present. You can't learn from the message if you're not paying attention, and that is a number one key for me. Being mindful. Now, as a counselor, like I stated, we go over that so many times with our teenagers, and it's so important for grown-ups to be mindful. What is being mindful? What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is when you are able to stay present in the moment and not worry about what may never happen or in the future or what has already happened in the past. Whenever we find ourselves out of the present moment, we're no longer engaged with what's going on. Like, we can kind of play it, fake it, but reality is we're not fully giving 100% in that moment, and whatever you're doing at that moment does deserve that time. If you find yourself not being able to pay attention for the same portion of your day all the time, I will question, or I will ask you to reevaluate what you're actually doing. Are you feeling challenged in your daily life so that you can pay attention, so that you can be focused? Sometimes I have to realize, like, it's easier for me to work out in the morning than at night, but my schedule has completely changed, so I can't do it as often. So now when I'm working out in the evening, I have to work really, really hard to be focused and engaged and present, and not thinking about, oh, when I get home I have to do this, and I have so much to do. Now that I've realized that, I'm able to be more focused and more present and engaged in that moment. So being mindful is so important, and it's something that's not commonly discussed, being a more mindful person. So that's something, another tip that you can use for your everyday life to be more present in the moment. And the last thing is really focusing on being intentional. I learned a really good technique, and it's like a really good application technique of the 4-7-8 breathing method. It will help you with anxiety, especially anxiety from having so many things on your mind, which is a symptom of not being present in the moment. Whole another session on that. But the 4-7-8 theory, or the 4-7-8 exercise, is wonderful, and I'm going to start practicing that more, especially going into the new year. So basically, you release all the air out of your lungs. You breathe in, inhale for 4 seconds. You hold that breath for 7 seconds and only focus on breathing, and then release it for 8. Let's try it. Even I had to close my eyes for that, because it does take a lot of focus. It says focus and concentration. And I couldn't think about even my recording. I had to think about my breath, because I didn't want to pass out in front of y'all on national YouTube channel. So the 4-7-8 exercise, do it often. You may find yourself having to do it every hour for your day, and then increase it or decrease it based on how much you need to refocus your mind, get more present and engaged. And when you find yourself anxiously thinking about all the different things you have in your day that are causing you to not be able to be present or engaged in that moment, do that exercise, okay? I've always had a lot of journals. I've always bought a lot of journals and then never kept up with it. But going into the new year, I'm definitely going to do it. That's something, writing to-do lists and writing my thoughts in my journals help get those things out of my mind so that I can be present and engaged with my family. So those are the 2 application tips I have for you mainly, the 3-7-8 exercise and the journaling. What are the tips you have for me? Remember what Maya Angelou said, that she learned, that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. How can we be more engaged? How can we clear our mind, relieve ourselves from anxiety, and be able to be present in our families, in our work, in our lives, with our friends, and with every aspect of our lives? There's so many gifts that we're given and we're letting them pass us by. People that we won't even stop to pay attention long enough to say hello. What is it that we can do? How can we open up and be more present and be that gift to others as well? So I'm so excited. We're almost done with the 5 keys of Simply Passionate Life, but there's something you can always review. Next week we'll be talking about being persistent and persevering through life, because as you know, like I said, Simply Passionate Living is not just about cookies and gumdrops. It's gonna get real, right? And so we'll talk about being more persistent and persevering next week. Join our 31-day challenge. You guys, over 30 people have already registered, and it's free. I'm so excited. I have my book. I have a lot of the materials and the recipes and the devotionals that I'm wanting to share with you all. So please sign up, because I'll be sending everyone their own email to welcome them to the challenge. You have over a week, so do it. Register. Don't be scared. It's going to be all right. We love you so, so much. I love you so, so much. I want you to live a simply passionate life, and I hope that we can walk together with it. Give me all of your tips. How are you doing it? So that we can walk together. Have a fantastic day. Live simply and passionately. Bye, y'all.